Hi everyone, my name's Mad Matt Lugos and welcome to Disco Elysium, the final cut. So if you've never watched one of my playthroughs before, I like to play single player story focused games where we can take our time, explore, go a bit slower and focus on the story, the character, the narrative and all that good stuff. So if I sound like someone you want to maybe come along on this alcohol and drug fueled journey with, then I hope you join me for Disco Elysium, the final cut. So I'd intended to start this playthrough about 3 months ago, but then I saw news about the final cut version of the game releasing in March, releasing this week. So I've been eagerly awaiting the release as I decided to wait and play this version of the game, as the developers have said that they regard this as like the definitive version of the game because it's got full voice acting and a few extra quests. So it'll be like a bit more cinematic perhaps. And it'll just accentuate the whole experience rather than having to read large walls of text ourselves. It'll be all fully realized for us. So I'm coming in as blind as possible. I've only had a look at the character sheet and the opening scene in the game. So we're going to be playing as a detective with memory loss. I think we've been on a bit of a bender. Had a bit too much to drink, and we've drained our mental faculties to the point where they've not come back. It happens to the best of us. We're going to be in a somewhat dystopian city, or maybe a somewhat Orwellian city. I think it's called Revachol. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what kind of city this is, how dystopic it is, or whether it's a mix of different kind of political styles. And the detective that we're going to be playing is based on us, based on our decisions. So I always get a bit nervous before playing such heavily, choice weighted games, choice and consequence games, because our decisions are really going to matter. There's an element of randomness, right? There's going to be some dice rolls for some decisions based on our statistics and our character build, and we're going to be having lots of conversations with our psyche, as I understand it. As we're going to have a bit of back and forth. It's based on the triune brain theory, I believe. I always say to myself to make these intros for first episodes a bit shorter, and I always fail miserably, and it's going to happen again because I just want to talk about triune brain theory because I know a bit about it. Paul McLean came up university a bit because when I studied psychology, he did a lot of work on the limbic system, on the kind of definitions of it and the kind of discovery of it. And we didn't study too much about triune brain because it's not really correct. It's kind of wrong, I suppose, but it definitely has an appeal to writers, to creative people, to artists, and a lot of stuff in psychology that isn't necessarily useful in psychology because it ends up sounding more interesting artistically, like Freudian stuff, Jungian stuff, and the triune brain theory. So the idea is basically that the brain went through like 3 major evolutions, starting off with the reptilian brain, which is more based on like aggression and being territorial and those kind of baser instincts. And then there's the mammalian brain, which that the theory believes built on top of that, which is more about kind of protecting your progeny and looking after your children or your young, if it would have been a mammal or an animal. And then we've got the neo-mammalian brain, which is the human brain, which is more concerned with critical thinking, abstract thinking, and that kind of thing. If I'm remembering correctly, I might not be getting all of that correct, but so I think we're going to be interacting with those kind of 3 layers of the brain essentially. So the reptilian brain is going to be urging us to be aggressive, territorial. The mammalian brain is going to be thinking about maybe finding a mate, and I don't know how we're going to interact with it. And maybe the neo-mammalian brain will be a bit more about abstraction. But yeah, that's a really interesting thing to base your game around. The writing here is supposed to be amazing. That's all I really know. I just wanted to give a short comment on what I know about the triune brain theory. So we're going to get started with a new game, guys. Now, what I'm going to do here, there's quite a lot of text to read about the various skills that we're going to be specializing in. So this is the build I've decided to go with. We're going 5 in psyche, 4 in motorics, 2 in intellect, and just 1 in physique. I don't know, this probably reflects me. I think I'm better, at least in terms of games and puzzles and solving things. I'm better at judging people than I am at putting abstract problems together. So I definitely think psyche will be more useful to me than intellect will be. Um, relating to people, talking to people is an important part of detective work. And I think it might be a better idea to combine a mental skill with a physical skill, not just go psyche and intellect. So I've decided to go for motorics. I feel like I'm quite an agile person, but I'm not that strong. So, I have some intellect, but I often don't put two and two together at times. But I feel like I'm a good judge of character. Right? Indulge with me here. So that's what I'm going for. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to specialize in empathy. I feel like that will be quite useful, particularly empathy and perception seem like they'll go together quite well. But what I'm going to do now, I am going to spend some time just reading through all these skills because they've got, it's really well written, this game. It's a joy to read this stuff. So just so that I have a really complete idea of our available skills and how things might influence the world, I'm going to read through all this. I'll leave a timestamp if you're familiar with the game, if you're familiar with all this stuff. Just skip. I'll leave a timestamp. Skip ahead to the start of the game, and you know that I'm going to specialize in empathy. So we'll start off with empathy. We'll read about this. So empathy is cool for judges of character, interviewers, and interrogators. Empathy breaks into the souls of others and forces you to feel what's inside. It enables you to notice social cues others may miss, perhaps a hidden sadness you could coax out a little more, a strange joy from someone who should be bereaved, or a hidden resentment that could return to harm you later. At high levels, empathy really puts you in other people's shoes. You'll cry for their sorrows, punch walls to relieve their angers, and be an even more unstable cop. With low empathy, however, you'll be an ungainly beast, unable to talk to anyone without upsetting them. Okay, so yeah, we can take it too far to the point where we might get so emotionally invested in someone's story that we can't focus on what we're trying to do. So it's a fair point. Okay, so volition. Cool for sane people, well-adjusted cops, and the non-suicidal. I'm liking the writing, man. It's got that, I don't know, it's just got that tinge of bitterness, or tinge of just that bite to it. It's just got that bite to it. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Volition urges you to be a good guy, to others and to yourself. It enables you to resist temptation, be it in a bottle, between a pair of legs, or at the end of an iron barrel which promises oblivion. Volition gives you the will to finish the investigation, improving your morale, one of the two health pools in the game. Okay. At high levels, Volition makes you hyper sane. When you're about to get funky, it keeps you normal. It's a bit of a party pooper. At low levels, however, you'll have little morale. Without it, you'll be a profoundly unstable cop, falling apart at the seams as you make irreversible mistakes. Okay, so yeah, we're like a real straight edge, internal affairs kind of police officer with that, I suppose. What's interesting, just from looking over these earlier, even skills within the same tree, within the same statistic, are very contrasting, you know? I think that like suggestion and volition really contrast, even though they're within psyche. So, Inland Empire, cool for dreamers, paranatural investigators, mental creators. Inland Empire is the unfiltering wellspring of imagination, emotion, and foreboding. It enables you to grope your way through invisible dimensions of reality, gaining insight into that which sight can't see. What's really going on? What do these enigmatic riddles mean for the world fate? At high levels, Inland Empire animates the inanimate. You'll have conversations with your clothing, conversations that may change the course of the investigation if you're not thrown in the loony bin first. With low Inland Empire, however, you'll be void of imagination and character. And then, how will you shape the cosmos? Okay, so there's kind of like a seeing a picture that no one else sees kind of thing. Picking up on obscure clues, maybe useful for things like conspiracy or things like that. Okay, authority, cool for leaders, experts of psychological warfare, and respect junkies. Authority urges you to assert and reassert your dominance over those around you. It enables you to understand the power dynamics of groups of thugs, know how far you can push a perpetrator, and how to establish control of situations. At high levels, authority demands respect. Even a perceived slight could send you into knee-breaking mode. With low authority, however, you're forever in awkward situations, like when you suffer psychological breakdowns after you yell at teenagers and they laugh at you. Yeah, we've all been there. Okay, yeah, so that might tie into that, and volition seem like they would work hand in hand, right? Being quite straight edge and you know, having your head on your shoulders, that might, and then that would tie into commanding a lot of respect, right? Okay. Esprit de corps. Cool for cops, cop cop aficionados, and pretend cops. Esprit de corps is the very spirit of policing, the copgeist. It enables you to understand your blue-souled sisters and brothers, not only by picking up subtle signals from your partner, but by witnessing flash sideways scenes as they play out in your precinct. At high levels, you'll be the very heart of the police force, not only willing and able, but obliged to take a bullet for your partner. However, without esprit de corps, you'll be flying blind, unable to understand discreet remarks colleagues make in high-stakes situations. Remarks that might just save your life. Okay, so it's kind of like a lone wolf, or kind of having everyone behind you, I suppose. And the kind of pride you take in representing the police force, I guess. Because a lot of, I suppose it could be a bit of a cliche that, you know, the detective who doesn't feel like one of the rest of the police force, you know, a bit of a rogue. Okay, suggestion. Cool for diplomats, charmers, and sociopaths. Suggestion urges a soft power approach. If people think they want what you want, you've already won. This skill enables you to implant ideas into the minds of others. You can make the citizens like you more. You can make gangsters turn on each other too. Many crime rings have been broken by just a little doubt, after all. At higher levels, suggestion makes you affable to everyone and more resistant to their charms in turn. But all that schmoozing and oozing charm will make you slimy, and you'll know it, even if no one else does. With low levels of suggestion, though, you'll have difficulty getting any kind of rapport with others. You'll be alone, both during the day and at night. Okay, so that ties into our personal life, perhaps? I don't know. Maybe it's, you know, we won't be that charming in terms of romantic relationships, and maybe to our partner as well. If we have, I don't know if we got, there's a partner in the cover art for the game, right? Or someone else on the cover art for the game. Okay, interesting. So it's a fine line we're riding there. Okay, so we'll read motorics next, because we've got a 4 in that. So hand-eye coordination. Cool for trick shooters, snipers, and jugglers. I hadn't really thought about the gunplay. Interesting. Okay, hand-eye coordination loves the interactions between you and the things that fly in the air. It enables you to catch coins from mob bosses, shoot straight, and understand firearms intimately. Want to know the precise make and mark of a pistol? Hand-eye coordination's got you. Want to shoot someone with it? Ditto. At high levels, hand-eye coordination makes you deadly, supposing you've a weapon in your hand. But once you do, hand-eye coordination will compel you to take the shot, even if it's not the best approach. At low levels, however, you'll be even more of a disaster in waiting, because when the guns go off, and they always do, you'll probably hit the wrong target. Okay, so we might have like a compulsion, I guess, to use that skill and to shoot more if we're not careful. Okay. Perception. Cool for fine detail detectives, sensualists, and urban scavengers. Perception wants you to be open to the world, with eyes, ears, and nose working at full capacity. It enables you to take in what others don't notice, a little wad of bills hid away in the sugar bowl, an odour of a perp hiding beneath the floorboards, the gulp of a suspect after claiming they've nothing to hide. At high levels, perception takes in every final detail of the physical world, enough to overwhelm all but the strongest mind. However, with low levels, you're going to miss out on everything. After all, you can't arrest what you can't see, hear, or smell. Okay, so I think that would interact really well with empathy, because we could be a good judge of person and also be a good judge of the environment and things around us, and those things might interact quite well as a detective, right? Okay, reaction speed. Cool for shot dodgers, thinkers on their feet, and pinball heads. Reaction speed is the agility of your body and mind. It is instinct. It enables you to dodge punches, knives, bullets, also sucker punches of the verbal kind. You'll be more streetwise, never lost for words or lacking a witty comeback. Your mental alacrity lets you connect little details on the fly, working in tandem with your intellect skills. At high levels, reaction speed makes your twitch reflex freakishly good. However, when your body acts before your mind, innocent situations can turn bad fast. You're high-strung, overly alert. At low levels, though, you won't be the one shooting first, which probably means you won't be shooting at all. Okay, so that kind of explicitly says that ties in with your intellect, so interesting. I mean, they give such a good description here of like why it's good and bad. It really makes me agonize over choices, but I think I'm just going to stick with this choice. Okay, savoir-faire. Cool for acrobats, thieves, and unbearable show-offs. Savoir-faire urges you to be better than you are. It urges you to be disco. Slip by others in Samuran boxing style, then tumble out the back with unexpected acrobatics. It enables you to move with silent footsteps, to groove to a good beat, and to lift useful evidence off perps without them noticing. It also makes you a cooler cop, whose athletic flair will certainly impress the citizenry. At high levels, savoir-faire will make you the king of cool, which is as much to say the most stylish douchebag in Revachol. Nobody will see you until you're ready to be seen, and then they'll get the full treatment, whether they want it or not. At low levels, however, you'll be a bumbling, feckless cop, unable to catch a pair of keys thrown by your partner without losing an eye. Okay, so maybe that would work quite well with suggestion. Yeah, maybe they'd interact quite well. I suppose that would go quite well with empathy as well, I guess. Okay, interfacing. Cool for machinists, tinkerers, and instrument players. Interfacing wants you to connect to machines, to use and improve them, because that makes you a better human organism. It enables you to understand interactions with machines, be that how to repair the motor of a Kinema motor carriage, how to analyze the way a suspect used a pen, or how to reconfigure electrical circuits. It even lets you steal keys off a keyring without being noticed. Kind of like an engineering skill. At high levels, interfacing will isolate you from society. Why bother with people when you can talk to machines? And why bother with things like money when you can just pocket that display sandwich? At low levels, however, you will have a crucial part of the world cut off from you. People use machines to commit crimes all the time. If you can't understand how a crime was accomplished, how can you solve it? Okay, engineering skill doesn't necessarily tie to empathy that well, does it? Because you're more interested in the mechanics of something than the people, I suppose. Okay, composure. Cool for card players, military, fetishists, and cool people. Uh-oh. Card player over here. Right. Composure wants you not to crack, or at least it wants you to not crack in front of other people. It enables you to put up a strong front. It keeps your emotions hidden from the world and helps you to read the body language of others, to sense the cracks in their own composure. As well, it keeps you looking good while you do it. You'll rock that disco outfit a lot more if you don't slouch. At high levels, composure makes you tuck your gut in and maintain a stern expression. Even lying in bed late night when no one else can see you, you'll have to keep it up. You'll never be able to stop. With low composure though, you'll always be the first to crack. Every cop's got a point when all that fear and rage comes spilling out. And the ones who unleash it don't stay on the force much longer. Perhaps worse still, you won't even make the ranks of fashion police. Okay, that maybe interacts with volition, maybe. Okay, there's such a diverse range here, isn't there? Yeah, I'm just loving the writing. It's just got such a good bite to it, hasn't it? It's got such a good bite. Okay. Intellect, we're a bit below average here, so we're going to have to be careful. Logic, cool for analysts, pure rationalists, and obviously logicians. I can't even say it, no wonder I've got a 2 in intellect. Logic urges you to analyze the living daylights out of the case. It enables you to piece evidence together, detect inconsistencies in statements, and impress everyone with your astonishing conclusions. It's the bread and butter of many a detective. At high levels, logic will be able to solve even the most complicated puzzle. You'll be very proud and thus susceptible to intellectual flattery, for those blinded by their own brilliance often miss important clues. With low levels of logic, you're going to have a hard time solving even the simplest puzzle. Even if you find the pieces, good luck putting them together. Alright, that's us. I don't know how we can upgrade these, but we'll find out, I suppose. Okay, so that's good for puzzle solving, picking up on clues. Yeah, that would tie in a little bit, I suppose, with empathy in terms of interrogating someone. Encyclopedia. Okay, cool for thinkers, historians, and trivia freaks. Encyclopedia makes you a know-it-all, turning your mind into a database of facts. It enables you to draw on these facts innately, offering a wealth of background knowledge to all things related and unrelated to your case. Who knows when the history of cigarette brands will provide the breakthrough you need to arrest a murderer, or when the knowledge of pre-revolutionary guns might save a life. At high levels, Encyclopedia shares this wealth of knowledge to an almost overwhelming degree. While it may give you crucial breakthroughs, it more often will clutter your mind with useless tidbits. With low levels of Encyclopedia, though, you'll be forced to work with only the clues in front of you. Without any background knowledge, copying is going to be tough stuff. Okay, so that probably ties in with interfacing quite well, having just like a depth of knowledge of stuff. Okay, rhetoric. Okay, this will be more conversational, right? Yeah, cool for ideologues, conversationalists, and would-be politicians. Rhetoric urges you to debate, make intellectual discourse, nitpick, and win. It enables you to break down arguments and hear what people are really saying. You'll spot fallacies as soon as they're used. What exactly did the waiter leave out of their testimony? What was the dancer trying to divert from you? Was that double entendre intended, or did you just get an accidental lead? At high levels, rhetoric will make you an impressive political beast, one whose beliefs are impenetrable, which is to say, one whose mind will not change, one who will calcify. With low rhetoric, though, you'll have a hard time of shooting down any argument. Nailing people to their testimonies will be nigh impossible. Crap. Part of that's me. I don't know. I like being a conversationalist, but ideologues and all that kind of stuff, I don't particularly want to be that kind of detective. Okay, drama. Cool for undercover cops, thespians of the stage, and psychopaths. Drama urges you to treat the world as a stage, and on it to perform. It enables you to lie, to concoct the most elaborate and wonderful stories, to take on ingenious personas and perform acts of stagecraft in an entertaining amalgam of forbery and deceit. As well, it enables you to see through would-be actors and their false antics. If they lie, you'll know immediately. At high levels, drama may render you an insufferable thespian, one prone to hysterics and bouts of paranoia. For to know the world is a stage is to know that truth is a vanity. However, with low drama, you can't lie or discern when others lie, and a cop who can't do either is a cop who's soon going to be lying 6 feet under. Man, it really puts the anxiety in you because it makes you want every single skill, right? Conceptualization. Cool for creatives, psychedelic fanciers, and critics. Conceptualization has a special role if you want to Conceptualization has a special role it wants you to play in this world. Not the role of a cop, but of art cop. It enables you to make fresh associations, to delve into world concepts from Jan Karp's postmodernist coppery to Revachol's arabesque architectural style, Derrida, and even the concept of hardcore. And then, importantly, to add your own contribution to these works. At high levels, conceptualization makes you go big, perhaps too big. It's ostentatious, demanding grand displays. Why live life when you can throw yourself into a live volcano? At low levels, however, you'll be unable to see the world in a creative light. You'll be unable to contribute to conversations in an art gallery. Only boring people will invite you to their dust parties. Okay, so that's just being a bit lost in yourself, I suppose. Lost in yourself and lost in concepts and art and stuff like that. Guess that would probably tie in with suggestion, maybe. Yeah. Okay, visual calculus. Cool for forensic scientists, tactical fighters, and math-minded people. mathematically minded, math-minded. Visual calculus versus you not visual calculus versus you not only in the laws of the state, but the laws of nature. It enables you to create virtual crime scene models in your mind's eye. You'll see how a bullet shattered the glass, and from that trace its trajectory with mathematical precision. You'll also count so many footprints, and at a glance discern shoe size and design, as well as the height, weight, and gender of the one who wore them. At high levels, visual calculus makes the world reveal its secrets to you, but you may be so absorbed in your mind diorama you don't notice as crooks steal your pants. However, at low levels, your mind's eye will be blind. Reconstructing crime scenes will be difficult without outside help. Okay, being a bit too obsessed with the numbers and the nuts and bolts, I suppose. Yeah, I think we're going to struggle with putting scenes together, but I think it's going to be good if we've got a person involved. Okay, this is where we're going to struggle. The physique. Okay. Endurance. Cool for fighters who can take a hit, look out so you don't sleep, and human batteries. Endurance is your metabolism and circulatory system. It improves your health, one of the 2 health pools in the game. It enables you to survive being a cop. Who cares if you can't aim a gun if you can take a few bullets? Why be afraid of drugs that hurt your health if you're a very, very healthy man? At high levels, endurance enables you to take a few knocks to the head, enjoy a greater quantity of drugs, and shake off a few cardiac arrests. It makes you a powerful man who looks down on the weaklings who can't keep up. However, cops with low endurance are likely to struggle. The body is frail already, and the flesh of a cop will often be tested. And if it doesn't pass, it dies. Okay, so just don't get in a fight, basically. Right, that's just don't get in a fight. Don't get in a shootout unless we've got some hand-eye coordination stuff on the go. Okay, pain threshold. Cool for unstoppable fighters, guys who won't die, and masochists. Pain threshold ignores damage so you can push on, bloodied and crawling to the bitterest end. It enables you to negate damage you would otherwise take, even mental pain, heartache, and loneliness. In fact, these things can become a thrill you seek out and perversely revel in. At high levels, pain threshold turns in on itself in a seriously unhealthy way, with full-on self-destructive behaviour. With a low pain threshold, however, you will suffer too easily. Even a slap from a teenager will make you whine and complain. That's the second time they've mentioned getting abused by teenagers, right? Physical instrument. Cool for muscle men, bare-knuckle brawlers, and gym teachers. Physical instrument is not only your muscles and your skeleton, it's your ability to use them effectively. It enables you to do push-ups, sit-ups, knockout punches, and 360-degree spin kicks. It's a one-size-fits-all solution to thriving and surviving in a physical world. At high levels, physical instrument breaks doors, chains, and bones, and it makes you laugh at the namby-pansies who can't. You'll be manned up, encouraging others to curl iron until they're manned up too. At low levels, however, you'll have a hard time arresting anyone who isn't infirm or already dead. Indeed, engaging in physical confrontations could leave you in either state. That's a good point. So we're going to need backup, basically. So I think that's where esprit de corps might come in. If we've got backup, we've got officers who trust us, or maybe if we command authority, that might be a way of getting over having a weak physique, right? If we have a strong sense of authoritative presence, maybe. Okay, electrochemistry. Cool for high flyers, party enthusiasts, and cops who need lightning. Okay, electrochemistry is the animal within you, the beast longing to be unleashed, to indulge and enjoy. It enables you to take drugs with fewer negative side effects. It also enables you to better investigate lurid matters. If you need to understand a chemical breakdown, or talk to someone blasted out of their mind, or understand sexual dynamics, electrochemistry is there to guide you. At high levels, electrochemistry makes you a man of unrestrained pleasure, an unrepentant Lothario who leers at people with a bottle of speed and a plastic bendy straw in either hand. But with low electrochemistry, you'll be too innocent to be effective. Without a working knowledge of drugs and sex, the city will be difficult to understand. Okay, that might be a problem in terms of interacting with people then. That ties into a lot of the psyche stuff quite well, doesn't it? That probably ties in with with suggestion quite a bit, and interfacing, being a bit of a show-off. Okay, Shivers. Cool for city lovers. The wisest of the streetwise. The genuinely supernatural. Shivers come when the temperature drops and you become more keenly aware of your surroundings. It enables you to hear the city itself, to truly belong to the streets. It's a supernatural ability. Old wrongs play out in present time. Scenes across the city happen in front of you. But who is speaking to you? At high levels, Shivers may make you seem mad to the outside world. As you listen to the city, you don't listen to others. Your superiors may begin to worry. With a low Shivers, though, you will seldom hear the city speaking to you. If you can't hear it, how can you ever save it? Okay, that ties into a bit into conceptualization, and a bit into savoir-faire, right? No. That's not what I meant. No, Inland Empire. Yeah. Yeah, kind of, yeah. That would really tie into Inland Empire, Shivers. Yeah. Okay. Half-Light. Okay, cool for high-strung investigators. Shoot now, ask questions later, cops. And surprise haters. Half-Light is your fight or flight response. It enables you to sense the way situations are about to turn. It injects palpable fear into your heart. Fear that urges you to act before it's too late to act ever again. Fear that makes you frighten others. It's the aggression that lets you squeeze every last drop of information out of a witness. At high levels, Half-Light makes you ultra attuned to the world. It is perpetual fear of your own shadow, of someone else's name or scent. You'll be ready, always, to pounce and physically interrogate passers-by. At low levels, however, you'll find your survival instinct is lacking and your methods limp-wristed. Those who respect violence will not respect you. Okay. So we can maybe get over that if we've got decent authority, right? We can kind of maybe authority and suggestion would work quite well there, right? Because we can get people on our side and we command a bit of respect. Okay, right, those are all the stats, guys. I love the writing, I love the bite, I love the, yeah, just the general style. I like this, I like the ambient music as well. Okay, so I'm going to set my signature to empathy. That just, okay, so that bumps that up to a 6. Okay. Let's do it, guys. We are off to Revachol. The furries are at home in the mirror. It's their address. Even the clearest water, if deep enough, can drown R.S. Thomas. Right, let's do it.
There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore.
Okay, so here we've got the different brains, man. We've got the reptilian brain, so... Our conscience no larger than a single grain of malt. Okay, because the reptilian brain doesn't really care about that kind of thing. It's more concerned with assertion and aggression, right?
Never, ever.
Never, ever, ever?
Never, ever, baby.
Let's keep on non-existent,
An
then.
inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
Ex-wife? What are you talking about?
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful. A ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of the meat thing.
It's just so much to like respond to. A ball of meat surrounding you. I wanted to know about the X something.
Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone.
Huh. I forgot my notepad, hang on. You are a detective after all. We're going to need notes. Okay, so the reptilian brain's going to be quite cynical. Ex-love, ex-tenderness. You know, foolish to think about again. You know, those things would be pointless to the reptilian brain anyway, right? Okay. Alonsi never let me go. No, I want to get off now. I like pain and burning light and want things from people who don't want to give them to me. Alonsi? Let's say, yeah, if that's our ex.
Alright, nothing down to fuck all, bruh.
Fuck all, bruh. Right, return tip to silence, please. Let's visit the ancient Zero home. Look, I'm tired of being this type of animal, and who gives a shit? Let's not try and suppress. Let's visit the ancient Zero home.
Great choice, Elder One. It has always been like this, and it always will.
This is a bit nihilistic. I need to belittle myself
Do
instead.
you really?
No, this isn't how it ends, reptilian brain. Let me off.
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself, got a bit carried away, did we, Chef?
So, have we tried to commit suicide? Mrs. Cannabis on the edge, deciding whether to carry on. Marinating, we've drunk a bit too
Fear
much.
and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
Okay. Fear and apprehension, you should ask us what's out there first. I do care. Tell me what's waiting for me. Tell me what's waiting for me.
There's this giant ball there. An evil apes. And the evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them. It's basically all just evil apes juking it out on a giant ball.
Okay, how small are these apes? I know it just means humans on Earth, right?
Infinitesimally small.
And how big is the ball?
You can't even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large.
And this duking it out, I keep hearing about. What's that?
Vying for resources. It's just a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil apes in the face, or you lose.
That's it. Yeah, that's sad.
Yes, it is. And you drowned in that sadness a long time ago.
What do you mean drowned?
You lost.
Let's open our eyes. Uh-oh. I see underpants. Okay. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be blocking any of the UI, but I'll change stuff if I do. Now this is the only bit of the game I've seen. I tried to grab my tie and I died. That was about 3 months ago. Okay, we've got +1 morale, +1 health. We've got a few items. I don't know if you guys think I should turn these off. There was an option to turn these little markers off. Okay. Okay, so some stuff won't have this, like our pants. We've got some pants. There's a broken window. Will this highlight if I turn this off in the UI? Let's just check that actually, guys. Let's detective mode. Oh, we can zoom in and out. I'll just turn it on then. Okay, we've got okay, so yellow means we're gonna have a bit of dialogue, and green is just to pick up the item. Okay, let's get our shirt on. Careful of that ceiling fan. Oh no, is that a jacket? Could do with the shirt first, right? Right. Let's do things in the right order. Okay, we've got a white satin shirt apparently.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants.
Perception. Okay. Let's take them
It
out.
says whirling in rags on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door.
Okay, so we won't have to smash the window then, right?
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off.
Oh, we can't turn the tap off.
Hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor.
I don't think this is a good idea. No. You see bottles in the bathtub, wine, beer, and sweet liqueurs. Okay, let's get our jacket on. I'm not touching that ceiling fan. Disco blazer. Okay. This magnum-sized bottle of Commodore Red is empty. Speaking of the red wine, I thought I'd better get in character. We've got a bit of vino here. What is this? An empty cassette case. Is that a shoe? Give me that shoe. We've got our left foot. Where's the right foot? Come on now. Can we put some tunes on? This reel-to-reel tape player is still on, rolling empty. Looks like someone tore out the tape while the song was playing. Let's just see what is said here. I'm not going to make the mistake of...
This fan has 2 chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades.
Yes.
Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world.
So we've got like a 58% chance I play enough XCOM 2 to know that that's horrendous. If we pull on the fan, isn't that going to turn the fan off?
The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now.
92%. Sure.
You swoop up and catch the tie.
Beautiful.
Snap. It's released from the blade. Warning, warning, the necktie is no longer contained. What you have in your hand is a fantastically colorful tie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose.
I think that I can't remember what killed me last time. I think it was the light, turning the light on killed me. Okay, so we've only got our left foot. These have stats. Okay, yeah, so it's like... So the flare cut trousers give us 1 extra electrochemistry, but we lose 1 savoir-faire. Lose 1 suggestion, gain conceptualization, gain an esprit de corps, 1 inland empire. We don't get anything for the shoe. Okay. Interesting. So we're losing... Oh no, we're only losing 1 psyche. Why does the white satin shirt do that to us? Let's go look in the mirror. Seems like a better time to look in the mirror, right? Words fail to describe how rank it smells in here. They should have sent a poet.
A mirror hangs on the wall, covered in steam, as you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
Huh. Okay. The Inland Empire. Okay, so I didn't realise all our stats were going to be talking to us. I thought it was just maybe like the triune brain reptilian stuff. And mammalian stuff. Okay. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Alright, I'll trust my Inland Empire. Let's get out of here. Is there a run button? I can't remember. Now, I don't know. I'm not necessarily going to save Scum, guys, but I'll save wherever I can. Right, we got the keys, right? I don't know where my other shoe is. I don't know how we investigate stuff. Probably through our shoe here, right? That's dialogue. I thought we were going to use...
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Assess the damage. Look out. Is that going to hurt us?
The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings.
Yeah, that's 58%. I'm not doing that. I don't know what the consequences are for messing that roll up. Probably lose health or something, right? Okay, so this is our apartment. Man, yeah, I love the art style of the environments. Okay, we're probably not going to smell too good. The calendar says it's March. The year is 51. What, 2051?
Hello, officer.
Hello there.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
Clashy? Miss Orangey Disco Dancer. The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28.
Okay, officer, am I military personnel, or turn your bloated face away from her beauty and just keep on walking? Officer, am I military personnel?
No.
There's only one solution to this. You're a businessman.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Authority. Wait, I know, I'm a businessman. Chief Executive Officer, right? We command a bit of respect, maybe?
The young woman shakes her head slowly.
Okay. Chief Technical Officer?
No, you're a police officer, sir.
Should we act surprised? Yeah, this seems a bit more playful, despite the exclamation mark, I guess.
I'm not. Unless you've been shitting us all this time.
All this time?
You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less.
What business is that, class you?
I couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
Oh. Oh, our suggestion went down one because of this stupid shirt. This is a red check. It cannot be retried. Okay, why don't I remember being a cop or anything else? Who in their right mind would let me be an officer of the law and I should get going? Suggestion. Try the expression on her. Let her know you want her physically. Let's be honest. I'm not going to go for this. This seems way too forward considering how hungover we are. Why don't I remember being a cop?
Could it be because of the drinking?
She hasn't had time to put her makeup on. This is her morning cigarette. She looks tired, her beauty waning faster than it ought to at her age.
Jesus. Okay, so it's going to give us insight into the conversation on kind of behind the scenes dice rolls, I guess, based on our stats. Interesting, very interesting. So I'm guessing that there'll be like maybe a collection of certain statistics that could tell us something here. This seems really harsh. Her beauty waning faster than it ought to at her age. Who in their right mind would let me be an officer
Don't
of
be
the
so
law?
harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
A glib remark. Don't let it stand. Assert yourself.
No, I don't think that's the right thing to say. I'm just going to let it go.
Retreat is not a winning tactic.
Sorry, authority. I should get going.
Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
That walk away. Okay, they don't like the police
Something
here.
stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct, a need. The need to ask questions. It's like you've said the words 1,000,000 times before.
Huh. An instinct, a need to ask
She
questions.
looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Oh, I don't know. That seems really forward, doesn't it? That seems really like, what if I don't want to ask questions? This sounds very not esprit de corps. This seems very straight and narrow, though, right? I feel like this number. I feel like saying this is just way too, like, kind of straight cop. Do you know what I mean? Just like, I have some questions for you. Why? We don't even know. We can't even remember who she is. All right then, let's go for it. What exactly is here? Where am I? Tell me, is it the year 51 now? Your room is almost next to mine. Did you hear anything last night? I don't really care what they have against the police here for the minute. Let's see if she heard. Ask if she heard anything.
The usual ruckus.
Usual.
Loud disco music.
Did I have any visitors?
I couldn't say. It's impossible to hear people speaking from over here.
Okay. What about the disco music?
Yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them.
She raises an eyebrow, waiting for the name to connect with you.
Oh, we're huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
Yeah, we go on all right. It mostly just gets hard, doesn't it? Mostly just gets hard, doesn't it?
It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace.
What
A
happened?
slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of the time, you were yelling along to it.
What was I singing?
That it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a winded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it.
I'm sorry for disturbing you.
Don't be. I was going out later anyway. It didn't bother me.
What happened next?
Then you started screaming and trashed the place.
Yeah, that's so me. What did I do?
A window was smashed. A tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out.
Okay, so we're maybe asking there's suggestions or questions there. If someone else was in there with us, which is possible, but if someone was going to have a fight with us that badly, maybe they would have killed us. And the door was locked as well, and the keys were on the inside. So, was there anything else? Please tell me there wasn't anything else, or it pries me to hear this. Tell me there was more. Yeah, please tell me there wasn't anything else.
There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5. And that was it.
Okay. So what have they got against the police
The
here?
dock workers are pretty cocky. They think they're police enough. At least here on the coast. I can't say about the rest of the city.
Okay, dock workers. So the dock workers kind of take care of the people here, but that's only this local area. So where are we exactly? I have no memory.
You're in a hostel, sir.
No, as in where in the world?
We are in Revachol.
Okay. Should that mean something to me?
You sure look like you're from Revachol. Revachol parties.
Fair enough. So is it 2051 now?
It's 51.
What century?
The current century.
What number?
Centuries don't have numbers. They have names. And
Okay.
This is the current one.
Okay. That's interesting. I guess it's perfectly feasible that the world doesn't have to be defined by a Christian calendar. It'd probably be better that way. How many centuries have there been then?
Civilization has existed for 8,000 years, sir.
Okay, tell me something
Yeah?
else.
Those words, tell me something else, feel like something you've said innumerable times before. Your mouth is the very shape of them.
Okay, tell me something else. Okay. All right. I'll see you later. I think that would be a soft J. Clash ye.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Oh, that walk. Okay. What have we got here? Looks like she left a nice long stub in the ashtray. They're still smoking. File cost by Pisantique, 28 degrees centigrade, limited rainfall. Alright. Let's get a move on. What have we got here? A magazine? This is the weekend edition of the satirical newspaper Trente Le Monde. Right, let's get out of here. Red checks can be tried only once. Failed white checks can be retried by increasing the relevant skill. Interesting. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't. When you just personally, when I'm hungover, I really don't want to, you know, come onto my neighbour. I'm missing a shoe. I know. Yeah, there's some people here. This is where lyrics would be. A big old karaoke mic, just waiting for someone to sing into it. The speaker's connected to the radio. The music is seasoned with static. Okay, we are missing a shoe. Bartender.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again.
So we're in a hostel, so there's usually a bar in a lot of hostels.
Disdain in his eyes. Even now he's purposely ignoring you.
Something tells me you don't like me.
Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop.
Yeah. Nice sarcasm,
Could
buddy.
the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
You're being sarcastic,
Am
sir.
I? Or did you ride in, take the body down, solve the murder, and not trash my hostel room?
Should we be assertive here? I don't know. He's got good reason to be annoyed. Let's try and be a bit witty. I'm guessing I didn't do any of those things
You're
then.
right, you didn't, and it's only taken you 3 days not to.
What have I been doing all this time? Have you seen me around?
No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here.
He looks down again and keeps plucking the bird. Let's look at the stuffed bird.
A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it.
Okay, so I'm guessing we broke that.
Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall.
We've all been there, right? Bit of property destruction after a few too many.
A small engraved steel tag says, "The Great Skua, Ste Koarius Skua."
Okay.
Something about it makes you feel bitter.
That's the Great Skua, right?
Look, your buddy is over there.
He looks at the doors where a man in a bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor.
Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
What do you mean, my buddy?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
So you're the bartender then?
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
We just demoted him.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
I really want to say you look like a bartender. He's got the waistcoat and everything. Alright, got you. Alright, adios.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul.
My soul is modest, mate. It's normal sized.
Exactly. It's measured, level-headed, and it needs to be heard through a PA system by other people.
This goes well with a theory I'm developing, that I'm a down-on-my-luck superstar person. What should I sing when it comes to it, or finish the thought? What should I sing?
You should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found.
Fair enough.
Thought it was obvious.
Of course, they'll really get a gauge on my soul with that one. I was thinking maybe I could sing something happy, like from those ostentatious orchestrations folk. We're not going to impress her with that. Yeah.
Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. Who's laughing now? No one. You would need another copy of the tape first, though. The one upstairs is destroyed.
Okay. Got a side quest, nice. This goes well with the theory I'm developing, yeah?
Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage and pose for a moment when you're done with this thought. See if it works.
Sure. Can we pose? Oh, we can run. Caps lock. This feels right. You belong here. Alright, let's just have a little inspection here, because this is where we ripped the bird down. Oh, hang on, we got a thought. The soft purr of an electric juicer comes from the kitchen. Someone's working. The menu's been wiped clean, only the word Monday is written on it, so it's Monday. This is a water cooler. A large bubble is rising to the surface. Doors bolted, the sign reads, kitchen reserved for personnel until 1 o'clock. Okay, so we've got the guy in the bomber jacket and a lady in a wheelchair. Inside you catch a glimpse of union paraphernalia, a strike poster, some red pennants. A sign reads, mess hall reserved for union members, doors open at 4 o'clock. Okay, there's nothing else. We've got our little side quest. Okay. So you need to find a sufficiently tragic tape, then play it on a boombox to memorize the lyrics. Then ask the cafeteria manager to perform, preferably in the evening. More people at the bar then. Get a hold of a sad song on tape. Alright, let's talk to our friend first, guy in the bomber jacket.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. You.
Kim Kitsuragi.
As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this.
So he's a cop. He's a copper then, esprit de corps.
On the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
Okay, so we're colleagues. Let's just shake his hand.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name.
Oh.
This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize.
This is a red check. Let's go for it, guys. We need to come up with a name.
Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but there are still many to go.
So what name did I come up with? It's not yet time. Wait, what? Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon. It's not time yet.
Okay then.
He processes the information and
It looks
disregards
like we had
it.
a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
You mean him? Not towards the cafeteria manager? Yeah, I just talked to him. No, I haven't. There must be some kind of misunderstanding. They're taking me for someone else. Yeah, I've spoken to him.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right?
Oh, there's a murder scene here.
It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews?
No.
Okay. We'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree?
How honest should we be with him? Because it's going to affect him. We're going to get judged. But then if we have no idea what we're doing, that's going to get us judged as well, right? Dead body?
Mm-hmm.
No.
So, the body is still in the tree.
I don't know.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice.
Yeah, I know.
It
I
is
was trying to be
obvious
honest.
He would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
Should we bullshit him? Like, he's not going to like these two. What if I told you I'm not really a police officer, and how could you be so sure I'm from the police? I don't know, because he seemed like he's pretty straight. He's got his arms, you know, the way he stood and everything. What are we supposed to do again?
Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down.
I can't remember
I
anything.
can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now.
Oh,
But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our #1 concern.
okay. But what if I told you I'm not really a police officer?
We all feel that way sometimes. There is no such thing as a police officer, I'm afraid. What remains is that there is a dead body in the tree. Someone has to figure out who put it there. If we don't, no one else will. But first, we have to take it down.
Okay. But how can you be so sure I'm a police
I was
officer?
sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the Citizens Militia on your sleeve and on your back.
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside. I'm not from the Inspectorate General.
All right then.
He nods.
Let's get going then.
After you, officer.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
Let's check our pockets.
You mean you don't have a badge?
It wasn't on me when I woke up.
Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing.
Okay.
I advise you to try to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence.
All right, I got you, Kim. Okay. Maybe it's in here somewhere. This Royal Pinball machine is unplugged. All right. Who are you?
Hello, sweetie.
Lena, the cryptozoologist's wife. The elderly woman turns to you with a smile.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
She doesn't look that old there. Does that mean you like me?
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and
Yes.
that silly dimple on your chin.
Let's not make any enemies.
But dear, you're not for me. I'm too old and
Oh, that's
too
not what I
married
meant.
besides.
In another time and place, she might have flirted back, but that ship sailed long ago.
Oh, I was just trying to be...
You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself.
She slaps herself on the forehead.
I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the
Okay.
street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
Okay. Husband Morel.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
You seem to be in a chair. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't know where I am or what I'm doing or anything.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
Her eyes follow your movements with some
She
concern.
won't judge you, no matter what you say.
Okay. I drank so hard I literally forgot everything about my life.
Oh my. You know where we are, right?
Yeah, it was written on my keys.
That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located?
It's in Revachol.
Yes, indeed. We are in the fine city of Revachol.
I don't know what kind of place Revachol is, though.
How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in
Oh.
the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I.
Okay, an idealist.
I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but
Oh,
everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days.
there's a pause as she studies your expression. You must look quite lost.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is.
It's the
Yes?
spring of 51.
That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
Nice.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, but now she relaxes her shoulders.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Huh. Cop regime. Some kind of democracy, maybe. I'd like to think it's the dictatorship of the proletariat. But something tells me it's not. Our leaders are fierce warriors who traverse the plains on steeds. Civilization cowers before us. We're governed by intelligent machines that perform calculations to determine the freest market. Everyone hustles and grinds like a badass visionary. Radios are being used to control people's minds and distort our perception of reality, concealing our true masters, foreigners, and women. Oh, cop, we're living under the cop regime. I like some kind of democracy, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. This sounds a little bit witty, and it also shows that we don't know.
Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people who thought that way. Other people who wanted those things, but they all went extinct. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of
Oh.
foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and
Oh.
certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat.
The zone of control.
But they still have cops.
If there's no government, how come we're here?
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution.
Interesting. Okay, so are we like private
But
investigators?
we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
So how did I do, Lena?
You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Remembering reality in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Cryptozoologist, why?
She means this sincerely. Worrying won't do you any good.
Fair enough. What's this revolution?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
42 years ago. An archipelago. Oh, this is really interesting. What does this have to do with there not being any cops?
It has something to do with everything.
Oh,
I
fair
really
enough.
don't know how to explain it better.
Okay, time is passing.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these things? And how can I help you?
You could tell me more.
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
Okay.
I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Fair enough, Kim.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez.
Is that the district room?
That's a good point. This doesn't look like Rich Central.
How'd you like to roll with me? Yeah, how did you end up in the chair?
Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
Yeah, that was rude of us.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway.
I guess.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
How'd you like to roll with us?
Whatever do you mean?
I want you to be my wheelchair partner in fighting crime, riding backyards of corpses, catching sequence killers. No, I was thinking of the lyrics of a... that just sounds so unnecessarily offensive.
Ah, yes. Probably Roll With Me by the Fletchers.
Yeah.
People often quote the Fletchers at me. Morel says it's my theme song.
All right, fair enough. That makes it even worse, right? I wish I hadn't said that. Quoting a song that's "Would you like to roll with me?" That's even worse.
Whatever do you mean?
Let's just try the other response. Can you come with us?
Sequence killers? Oh my. But I think you already
Okay.
have a partner, sweetie.
All right.
A partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from a tree.
Yes, you're probably right, Kim.
It seems to me that you lucked out with your partner. He has the look of an upstanding officer of the law. Someone you can lean on, and
Okay.
sweetie, you are looking unsteady.
Yeah, I don't know. We might not need him though. Seems like a bit of a stick in the mud. All right, I've got to go now.
Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
She gives you a small wave. See you later, Lena. Lena. Okay, let's go talk to... Well, we've got some new stuff. We've got a kind green ape pen. We've got a ton of side quests. You've no idea where you are. Lena encouraged you to ask others to explain the world to you in greater detail. Perhaps try a rich person. Rich people are educated. You need to report your missing badge. The lieutenant said you can use the radio in his motor car. You need to inspect the body. You need to interview the manager. Good stuff. Alright, buddy. I'm sorry for breaking your bird.
The unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He drops the ledger he was holding and turns to the lieutenant.
Mr. Gart, right? You run this place.
Okay, that'll calm him down.
Yes.
He responds tersely.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
He looks to you, realizing he still doesn't know your name. The harbinger of ruin. What is golden orange like a forest fire but smells like the cure? I'm currently in between names. I think we should say nothing.
Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
He's not happy about this bar shift, is he?
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
He looks behind a pile of coasters, finds a slip of paper and hands it to the lieutenant.
This sounds like something you can use to call this Sylvie later.
So we can snatch
You
it.
said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only
Jamrock.
sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
Okay.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
Okay, this guy's really bothered about being perceived as a bartender.
I didn't imply that. Detective,
Yes?
I have everything. You?
Oh, you mean, do I have questions? Yeah, let's ask some questions.
Yes, he means, do you have questions for me, like a police officer would?
So Gart, where exactly is this body?
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there.
And, how do we get there?
That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through.
Does he want you to feel guilty of making that hole? It's implied in his voice.
Okay. Who kills him then? Gart.
I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job.
He's very
He
defensive.
doesn't know. He just said they hoisted him up on a tree. Who is this they?
Before you said they hoisted him up, who do you mean by they?
Oh, people are saying it was the union dock workers, that it was a lynching.
And who's saying that?
The locals, the customers, the people who eat here. A lot of dock workers eat here. Sylvie told me everyone knows the dock workers did it.
Did she?
Did the debarders themselves tell her this, or is it a rumor?
I don't really know. You'll have to ask her.
Why would the dock workers lynch him?
I would suppose it's because they have nothing better to do.
You mean the strike?
Yes, the strike. The man they hanged was a security guard for the harbour company, I hear. A mercenary. The unionistas probably thought they'd send a message.
Okay, you seem to know an awful lot. Are you involved?
What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
Alright.
The lieutenant turns the page in the little notebook he's been scribbling in.
So, did Sylvie just finish her shift? Why has she left?
She went away because none of your business.
Oh. Fine.
Extra fine.
Let's go.
That's all.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
No one is saying the multi-pattern necktie you found tied to the ceiling fan can talk. No one. It must be merely imagination. But
Let's bail! Time to push the eject button! Sounds like a responsibility! You don't like those!
no, don't listen to him. It's madness. Just talk.
Oh. That necktie voice. Oh, Jesus. Sounds like a responsibility. What's the chances on this? 58, dude. What's real?
Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
Pronounces the R with a mock
The
aristocratic
IIR,
accent.
or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right, money. You owe this establishment 130 real.
Who does that clown think he is? Arrest him!
You're under arrest. I can't take this Ty's voice, man. It's like Blackheart from Blackadder. No, Flashard. Sorry, not Blackheart. Flashard. What exactly do I owe you the money for?
Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages.
I thought you didn't work
Another
here.
thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is still money.
No one is saying that. No one is saying that Ty can talk. That would be ludicrous. It's just that you should arrest him. It would be wiser. He wants to take your money.
Great advice.
The lieutenant looks at you tugging on your garish tie. He puts his hand on your shoulder.
If you don't have the money, it's okay. None of us are in this for the wages.
That's cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money either.
We're just going to have to put him under arrest. But what exactly is money, guard?
What are you, a philosopher?
Yes. I might be.
Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything. Really.
I don't like my lungs. What do you want me to say? Interesting. Where do I get it from? Why do I need it? What if I don't have any? I don't think I have any. But what if I don't have any?
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange bomber.
I really want to say it, but we shouldn't make an enemy of him. What happens now?
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, then...
He shrugs.
Officer, maybe you're better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
Isn't there somewhere else I can stay around here? I don't have a home. I don't remember where my home is. Fuck this place. I'll take my chances on the streets. I'll see what I can do. I live in Jamrock. I don't remember, mate.
Officer, you really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car. Call them.
Yes.
Ask for assistance. We have to get this investigation started now.
Good luck.
Okay, so if we get some cash, we need to pay for damages.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it.
I really don't remember, dude.
But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere.
Far away?
In time or space?
Space.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
Could I trace the way back somehow? To the exact street? The exact number on a building? I'll live in a dumpster, I don't care. Fuck everything. Hobo cop. We might be able to figure it out.
You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
Excellent. Alright guys, I'm going to have to end episode 1 here because we're like an hour and a half in and I've not even left the hostel yet and I've only got 1 shoe. Man, this is great. I am having a great time. I know it's slower paced, but the voice acting really adds to it. I don't know how much was voice acted before. I think there was some voice acting before, I don't know. But yeah, we didn't try and seduce our neighbour. I think that was the right move. We talked to Lena in the wheelchair. She was lovely. She's given me a bit of hope for the people here. She seemed really nice. Kim seems kind of a bit on the straight and narrow. We might not, if we need to be a bit undercover, you know, do a bit of schmoozing, he might not necessarily be too useful. What the hell is this? Oh. We've got thoughts we can start. Wow. No way. Alright, we'll figure all this out next time, guys. Schedule for this should start on Monday or Tuesday, so you guys can give me any tips or whatever if you've made it this far. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Disco, and we will pick it up from here next time. If you enjoyed this video, maybe leave me a like as it's the first episode in the series. That would help me out. And just remember, everybody, never trust an on-crate. I'll see you back in Revachol.